Giddy up.
Giddy up.
Giddy
Let's
up.
do it.
DJ Wilson, welcome to the Passion Project, sister.
That was a nice.
That was a good one?
That was
You
good.
felt that one?
I felt that one.
I don't want you to forget where you are. Excuse me. DJ, so good to see you. So stoked you're here.
Yeah.
This is super fun. We go way back, but I don't see you enough. Like I always say, I think you're like one of my favorite people that I don't see very often. So
I feel the same way.
I probably-
and it has been years. Like
has it been?
I've known you for many years.
Yeah.
But like how? Like just through paddling, through everything.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I feel like we're good friends. But yeah.
for sure. Well, if I was paddling more now, I'd probably see you more often. You haven't stopped. You haven't slowed down, but I've slowed down a little bit on the prone side. But this isn't a paddling podcast. I've said that before, but we're going to talk a fair bit of paddling because if you know DJ, now DJ Wilson, AKA DJ O'Brien, when I met you, you were DJ OB.
Yeah.
And so we can talk about that too down the road. But if you're a prone paddler, you'll know DJ by name. And we'll talk all about how many times you've done the Classic, how many wins you have, Molokai, ISA, how you've made it a profession on top of a passion, et cetera, et cetera. But I always think of, DJ, I think of you like the F word. But really, I think of you as being super fun, funny, pretty fierce competitor, super friendly. Like it was funny this morning. I was like, oh yeah, the F words, not the ones you were expecting, but
I'm
super,
like,
super grateful to have you here. You mentioned we go back paddling. We know. Do you remember where we met?
I don't.
You don't remember?
I was thinking about it.
I remember.
Okay.
Where, when? It was my very first paddle run paddle, the Joe Bark paddle run paddle.
Was that it? Was
that
that
was
when
the
we
first
met?
time? And so the paddle.
Well, I felt like we were best friends then.
Well, it was super. So what's for anybody listening that doesn't know what the paddle run paddle is? What is the PRP?
So paddle run paddle is when you paddle to Catalina on a Friday, have a little Kentucky Fried Chicken in the middle of the channel, and then you run the Catalina Marathon on a Saturday, and then you paddle home on the Sunday.
Do you feel better or worse on the paddle on Sunday than you did?
Fired up. Well, it's usually foggy on the way home for some reason.
Yeah. So that was the first time I'd done. It was probably, I don't know, a dozen years ago.
I have a very good memory of you on that.
Okay, the reality is I met you in the middle of the ocean because when I got the call up like 2 days before, I hadn't been training to run. I hadn't been on the prone board because it's early season. It's in March. Yeah. I hadn't even started.
It's like, I think this weekend is.
Oh, it might be.
Yeah.
I know it's an LA marathon, but it was one of the things that was on my list. Like I wanted to do it, and Joe, it just hadn't worked. And Joe called me up the last minute. Hey, come along. And I was like, okay. And so you're paddling across the channel we had probably, 25 people, and you have a lot of time. And so I paddled up to every person that was out there, and we instantly were friends. And we ended up doing the marathon the next day. We walked it, and me and Joe. You had like a broken back or something.
Yeah, do you remember how that happened?
I don't.
So we decided to walk for a while. I think it was about 6 miles in. And I was going to turn around and go back because Reno wasn't doing it. So I was going to go hang out with Reno and spend the day at Twin Harbors and wait for you guys. And about 6 miles in, you guys decided to start trotting. And you're like, if you do this whole marathon, I'll buy you Pacificos all night long. And I'm like, done. So I just, without training, without being, I don't know what I was.
I think you were
I was
injured.
recovering from something.
Yeah.
And I just did it. I walked it. I met people. I had this huge water bottle that I was carrying the whole way. I probably didn't have the right shoes on. I got to the end. Joe Bark is like running up the street going, oh my God, you're alive. Because my phone died. And it took me like 8 hours. And I had blisters all over my feet. I had to put my feet in the water. And I came up to you. I'm like, I think I got one Pacifico that night.
No way. You got more than that. I remember.
I don't remember after the first then because I was wiped out.
But I remember you were going to turn around. And then, I don't know, whatever
That's
it
what
was.
you said.
After we finished, here you come down the street, and you were injured, and you weren't planning to do it. So that also, I think, DJ speaks to you as a competitor. Like you're going to see DJ, super cute, always bubbly, as I said, friendly, fun, but ferocious for sure as a competitor. Like super determined, right? Yeah. That'll come up time and again.
Tell me I can't.
Tell me I can't. I'm not going to ever tell you that. ever. But part of the reason I do this podcast is, and we talked about it earlier, like if you were just air quotes, a paddler, it wouldn't be as interesting. But I know there's a lot more to your story about your career, what you do and why you serve people the way that you do. and your passion to building the sport, to kids, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to dig into all of that. And I always say, like, most people that are very accomplished, you learn about them from a certain point in time, right? Like Kobe, you can go back and see the backstory before he became Kobe Bryant. But like most people in the world around us, you kind of know them like, oh, I've met her paddling. I don't know anything before then. And when I met you, let's go back like from a time perspective. You just had a big birthday. Are you willing to talk about it?
This
yeah,
you mean this year? You mean like 30 days ago?
That one.
I just turned 60.
60. Yeah. Nobody would believe it if they see you, talk to you, or watch you paddle. Nobody would ever believe it. But you turned 60. So if I met you, I met you at somewhere around 50, maybe 48. Yeah. And you probably went, but you didn't start paddling when you were 4 years old, right?
No,
you started later in life. So there's going to be a lot of this backstory where a lot of us know you from mid 40s or 30s on, but there's a whole life before that. So we're going to talk about that too. There was a whole life before. And I guess it was formative that brought you to doing all the things that you do today. So that's kind of the goal always of the podcast is like uncover all the cool stuff and connect some dots and talk story with friends. That's cool. Cool?
Cool.
So I'm going to ask you a question, and then we're going to kind of go in the Wayback Machine and start digging into that. So, DJ, have you ever high-fived a sea lion?
Oh, you know that story. Oh, yes, I have. Okay, so do I get to tell
Oh, you
it?
have to.
I love this story. So I'm paddling out towards the R10.
Which is a buoy off of Palos Verdes.
Yeah, like the iconic buoy. And I see, well, you know, you're always seeing the sea lions. They're sleeping. Their fins are up.
It's called thermoregulating. They have a flipper up in the air, and that's how they cool off.
Okay.
So if you see them laying there, that's what they're doing.
Who knew?
Now you know.
Thank you, Mark.
But you saw it for a whole different reason.
I saw it because he was waving at me, I'm sure. And he wanted me to come high five him. So I'm like paddling, and I thought, I'm going to really high five the sea lion. So I got really super sleuth, quiet, paddling, getting right up there. I literally got so close. I slapped that fin. And it like slapped me 3 times, went down, and I high-fived a sea lion. Like, it happened. and he followed me for a little while. I don't think he was real happy about it, but
so
never happened again, and I've tried.
DJ, most of us like to see wildlife from a while away. Like, again, who's in the room?
I have respect for wildlife. I just had to do that.
But what like we've all thought like but I could never, I don't have the balls to do it. Like clearly, I just love that. I've told that story, DJ. I've told that story about you a lot of times, and people are like, no way, it's impossible. I'm like, I know.
No, it really happened.
That's so great. I love it. Okay.
Never again though. It's never happened since.
That's okay. You got it once. More than most humans ever in history. I high-fived. I'm going to call this podcast, I high-fived a sea lion. That's what's going to happen.
Okay.
Another question, and then we'll move on. Okay. Have you ever been spanked while racing prone paddleboards?
Well, I was wondering if that was going to come up because there's only one person in the whole entire world that could have gotten away with that.
Who's that?
His name's Mark.
What's that story? You remember that one?
So I'm pretty sure it was right off the line of the Catalina Classic where I don't talk to people during the race. I'm very happy with everyone in the race. I need to focus.
Because your goal of the Classic is to win.
Well,
historically.
It used to be, yes. And to just do my best and just no distraction. Just it's all out there. And I'm paddling just off the start, and I feel this smack, like the high five you gave me. I was thinking about that when you high fived me when I got in here, right on my left butt cheek, which isn't appropriate, by the way, but because it was you, I was just like,
I just thought of you the same way you thought of the sea lion.
It was a sea lion situation. It was shocking, and then it was hilarious.
Yeah, that one took a while for you to, like, your eyes burned through me for a moment there. Super funny, and it was just one of those things. You just happen. So the Catalina Classic start is, can you talk about real quick? We will get into the Classic and how many times you've done it and why it's so important for you. But like, I've done it a bunch of times. Like, talk about the start of, it's the biggest race of the year for most of us if we're racing. Talk about that start because it'll give some context to what that's like when I probably like snapped everything in from your focus.
Yeah. Well, yes. So you're standing in knee-deep water, and you're waiting, and there's a countdown. 1 minute, and you're standing in.
It's in the dark.
Kind of dark. Yeah, it's kind of dark. You have your board. You're kind of like moving it in the water. You're like eyeing who's next to you. You're eyeing in front of you how you're going to get through these boats and where your spot is.
How's the pressure at that? Like, what kind of pressure?
Big.
It's big.
It's
right.
big.
So the Catalina Classic.
It's real. It's the deal.
It's 32 miles from Two Harbors or the Isthmus to Manhattan Beach Pier.
Yeah.
It's the biggest race of the year for most of us. The only other race that compares would be the Molokai to Oahu, which we'll talk about as well. You've done that quite a few times. But for me, that's like the most stressful couple minutes of my race year, because you've done all the training. It's stressful leading up to it.
4:30 in the morning is pretty stressful.
But so the gun goes off at 6 and you're in the harbor, you're knee deep water, as DJ was saying, 100 people all along you. It's tight and you're going to have to go out there, and it's a race if you're racing. Yeah. And so that's where your mindset is. And so 30 seconds later, slap.
Yeah. Then you're like, I had to really refocus, which I'm good at. I can do that.
I'm sure I apologized with a giggle and a hug and a beer. Probably Pacifico.
It was a Pacifico.
You know, if you know DJ, a couple Pacificos will make friends pretty quick with her. You can get into her heart pretty quick with beer.
It's the beer of the Pacific.
Right?
What do you do?
Okay, enough of my questions to start. But listen, so we'll get to like the core of paddling. But like I said, like I don't know any of the backstory. From the time that I met you, I've learned a lot since then. But I really, like, DJ, I don't know where you grew up. I don't know what got you into sport. Like, I don't know anything. Can you share a bit about like where it all began for you?
Yeah, it was so long ago. I have to try to really remember. So I'm born in San Diego, lived in Bonita.
Oh, really?
All my life, yeah.
I knew that.
All my young life.
Were you like a sporty girl? Were you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think my dad wanted boys, and he had 3 girls. Oh. And so, like, at a young age, I had a really short haircut, and I was pulling a bow and arrow and just running around. I always had a lot of energy. Like, I think my family always tried to, like, calm me down, but I was really a goer. I just wanted to go. I just wanted to move. I was always moving. I got into, like, gymnastics when I was little. I loved it. I loved tumbling. I loved all of that kind of stuff, and I also did ballet, which was really slow and calm. And the teacher, I don't think she liked me very much. I never really advanced very far. And it was hard for me. I didn't like it. But I loved the gymnastics, and I loved the tumbling, and I loved all of the movement. And then I played softball. I had a pony. I rode horses. As I got a little older, I had a 3-wheeler. I would, like, ride all around. I made the track, but my dad allowed us to have a track in the backyard. And so, yeah.
Tomboy? Like, with that?
I'm a girly girl tomboy.
Oh, girly girl tomboy. Totally makes sense.
Like, I liked hanging out with the guys because they were super fun, but I had lots of girlfriends too. So it was like, I don't know, it just I kind of went wherever it was fun.
Is that the story of your life?
Maybe.
I
haven't. Well, since you asked me to be on here, I've been trying to think, what is the story of my life? It's like so convoluted. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, we're going to dig into that because, again, that's the fun part. It's like, but let me ask you, we'll get into your career and your formal training, but what you talked about is how I feel about myself, like undiagnosed ADHD, like always going, always a lot of hobbies, always had to be moving, always. Is that like is that a diagnosis that you would give yourself if you look back, or no?
I don't really know, because I try not to diagnose myself with too many things, because there's so many things to do to label myself with. Yeah, but probably. And I think when I was little, I think there was a time they gave me some kind of medication that slowed me down so much that the teachers got worried, so they never gave it to me again. And I remember hearing that my grandfather said, "Cool her flame, but don't put out her fire." So I've kind of had that in my mind all the time.
Cool her flame, don't put out her fire. I like that. That's a good one.
For a parent, they need that kind of.
Yeah. Parenting's a whole nother animal, right? So were you a good student? Were you into it?
Oh, I was like in the advanced classes where they pull you out of your elementary school classes to go learn about the planets, and I guess it was called MGM or something like that.
I remember that. I wasn't in it, but I remember the smart kids.
Remember those kids got pulled out?
Right.
So I was in that, and then like my parents got divorced when I was like 13, I think it was, something like that. So like in middle school, it wasn't so cool to be super smart in my mind. And so I kind of dropped out of all those classes, and I didn't want to do that anymore. And in high school, I was kind of like left on my own a lot to do things. And I wasn't a great student, but I'm smart. So yeah, a 2.9 graduating high school, is that smart?
It all depends, but it served you. So
Yeah.
I'm stuttering here. Were you surfing? Were you a beach family? Were you into the water at all at that point?
I loved the water. My grandparents had a pool, and I loved being in the water. I loved being under the water. I just loved being in the water. And I always wanted to surf, but I was one of those girls who was like a little intimidated to go out with the boys and surf. And so I never really got into surfing. I'd go watch my friends surf, but I wouldn't really go surf. But I was in the water, like I would body surf, and I would just get pounded by the waves. And I loved that. I loved all that kind of like heavy work, like pounding on your body. I just loved all of that.
So gymnastics, getting pounded.
Gymnastics. I started riding a bike in my junior high school years. I started riding a bike as far as I could go until I just like I knew I had to turn around and go home because I wouldn't make it. So I would ride a bike all around.
That was me too.
I loved it.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, just go.
Go. Yeah, I would leave my house at 4:30 in the morning and go.
The further the better.
Yeah.
Sounded
see?
great.
That's why we connected, DJ. I already did.
We're the same.
Right? You're just a smarter, faster, prettier version. Where did college take you, or career? Because I guess I know we'll get into the formal degrees or formal career that you've had. Was that a college path or?
Well, I was about 12, and I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to help kids walk who couldn't walk. Somehow I saw something, or I don't remember how, but I knew I wanted that. I mean, I drew it in things in school. I want to be a gymnastics coach or an Olympian. That never happened. Or I wanted to help kids walk. And so I probably asked my mom, and she said a physical therapist does that. And so since a young age, I had a goal. I want to be a physical therapist.
Yeah.
That was my goal. I never wavered, never changed my mind, never changed a major, that was it.
Rad. I love that. So many people don't, like, I didn't have that. I didn't know what I was going to do until I ended up doing it. I love when people have a real vision.
I'm so grateful for that.
That's so great. Well, tell us how you got, like where that took you.
Yeah.
So how you got there.
High school wasn't the greatest for me. Proposition 13 came in. They took away I was waiting because I was on a gymnastics team, but when my parents got divorced, I didn't have a ride to the gymnastics classes anymore. So I couldn't go. I couldn't be on the team anymore. I couldn't do any of that. So I was waiting for high school to be on the gymnastics team, and they took that away. So the gymnastics went to the side. So in high school, it was just kind of like floundering, but I still had this goal. I knew I was going to go and be a physical therapist. But after high school, I thought, okay, I'm a little discombobulated. I didn't do great grades. I ditched school quite a bit. I, just was a little bit rebellious about different things, but I always had this goal, and I knew what I wanted to do. So I took a year off of school, and I worked I was a hostess at a restaurant. And
were you still in San Diego?
Yeah, I was still in San Diego. And then I found out, what's the path? Long Beach State has a physical therapy program, and I'm going there no matter what. I don't care what my grade point average was. I'm going there. I got in on a delayed, they waited for me for a year. They didn't wait for me, but,
yeah.
I got in a year later, and I started taking all the pre-physical therapy classes, and I just loved it. I loved it, and I loved school, and I got into PT school on my second try. But still, I got in and, just convinced all the teachers, I'm going to be great. Pick me. Put me in this program. And I did. I loved PT school. I have some of my best friends are still my best friends from PT school. And, yeah, it was.
So you come out of PT school in Long Beach.
Yeah.
Where do you go? What do you do?
So I had an internship at LA County USC Medical Center, East LA. Wow. Driving my little convertible bug out to East LA every day. It was terrifying.
What color bug?
White at the time. And I've always been a VW girl.
Is that right?
Yeah, I love my Volkswagens. But I worked at LA County USC for about 3 years, just trying to get experience. You know, I worked in the ortho, I worked in the acute care, I worked in the neuro. I really liked the neuro, and I really wanted to get over to the pediatric building and just learn everything I could, and then go in somewhere else, closer to home. And I just couldn't stay at county any longer. It was just too county.
Too gnarly?
Well, the gnarliness was fine. It was mostly like the commute and some of the employees that have been employees there for
wasn't
many,
a good
many,
fit.
It just didn't work for me. Yeah,
Got
it wasn't. It didn't feel. I didn't feel joy there, and I needed joy and fun. Yeah. So I left, and then I didn't know where to go, so I got it. It's a job where they call you on call and you get placed different places. Registry. I did registry. So I did registry for a little while, and I got placed in some orthopedic places, which I really was a little terrified at first, but you know, you learn on the job, and then you go to courses, you get better. And so I had this one job for a couple of years. I liked it, but then I started having kids. Forgot about that part.
We'll get there. We'll loop back to that.
And it wasn't 10 years until I got into pediatrics.
Wow.
So, and once I got into pediatrics, I knew I was home.
Oh, that's
I knew
rad.
where I belonged.
So 10 years formative, bouncing all over the place, registry at a county, really built your base strong. So I'm guessing by the time you got to where your joy was with pediatrics, you were like super knowledgeable and ready.
Yeah, I was ready. But it was still a whole nother learning curve, because working with peds is completely different than working with adults. You know, it's just a whole new situation.
For
working
sure.
with kids and their parents, and, you know, that whole system. So
Totally.
there's a lot to learn, but I was happy to do it.
Rad. And where was that?
At Pediatric Therapy Network in Torrance.
In Torrance. Okay, so that brought you from San Diego, you went up to Long Beach, to
Long
LA.
Beach. Mm-hmm.
Is that what took you to South Bay?
Yeah.
And you still reside
and I'm
there
still there.
now?
Yeah, I was in Redondo for 25 years or so, and then now I'm in Manhattan Beach. Long commute.
Right. Right.
A couple miles away.
So let's press pause there and go back. You mentioned family. So you got married or had kids or whatever. Talk about, you've got 2 daughters. Talk about where that fit into the equation of career and everything else at the time.
Yeah. So out of college, I got married, and then like sports wise, I was still active in different things, running, yoga. I was rock climbing. Rock climbing was a rad part of my life.
You still hadn't found the ocean though at that point, or paddling, or prone paddling.
Always needing to go to the ocean, but I haven't found that yet. So then I had my kids, and when they were 2 and 4, let me back up. When in Lama's class for my first, she was born in 1996, for my first daughter, I met a gal who ocean swam. And I was like, I want to ocean swim. She goes, well, come out with us. You know, you can come learn how to swim in the ocean. So I went out, and there's this coach, and his name is escaping me right now.
Oh.
But he's a rad South Bay guy, yeah. He was doing these ins and outs at Manhattan Pier, and so I have my first child, and then I'm going out for these, like, she's just a tiny baby, and I'm going out for these ocean swim things, and I suck. I mean, I'm swimming out to the end of the pier, I'm gasping. People are like, good job. Coming in, I'm like, okay, this isn't gonna last very long. No one's going to be clapping for me out of sympathy anymore. So I started really training.
You got the spark.
Oh yeah, I was like, okay, I got to get good at this. And so I started swimming, started ocean swimming, started doing like wild woman water days, and I got to where like the pinnacle of my ocean swimming experience was the peer-to-peer swim. It was from Hermosa Pier to Manhattan Pier, a 2-mile swim they do every single year, the Dwight Crum peer-to-peer swim. So I was like so excited to do that, and then my dad passed. So I couldn't go that year to do that. So then the next year I said, okay, well, I'm going to do that swim the following year, and I'm training, and then I'm pregnant. So I'm like, okay, well, now I'm pregnant.
But you're training throughout all of this.
Yeah, for this swim.
For that specific swim.
Yeah, and jogging and all the things I do, and staying in shape. And so I swim my very first peer-to-peer pregnant in 97. Wow. And it was awesome. And then I did it the next couple of years. And then I'm like, okay, well, 2 miles is great, but more. But I wasn't out in the community. Like now I can find swims everywhere, but at that time it wasn't like you go online and look for swims. It just wasn't like that. And so Joe Bark was doing the R10 race and then a 3-mile surfboard race. And so I go over to that race and I say, hey, can I swim your 3-mile race? Because I haven't swam 3 miles, but I kind of want to do it where there's people around and I'm watched and everything. He's like, no, get on a paddleboard. I'm like, well, I don't know how to paddleboard. And he says, get on a paddleboard and paddle the race. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
And so I borrow a board. It's a big old thick Becker. And I get on a paddleboard and I paddle this race and I come in first. But I'm on a paddleboard and everyone else is on a surfboard. So it wasn't quite fair, but I still got the trophy. And I still have it.
Of course you
I'll
do.
take it.
Right?
So I was like pumped. I was like, what is this? What is this paddling thing? That's how.
So you truly didn't know anything about prone until Joe goes, no, you can't swim our course. Get on a board.
Well, I did. Yeah, that's pretty close. Yeah.
And this was in
So let me
97?
think. But what I know is I fell in love with paddleboarding in that moment. And that Christmas, I said, oh, that's all I want for Christmas is a paddleboard. And so I went to Joe and we designed it. We made this beautiful board. I got this material. We glassed it in. It's like 25 pounds. It's so heavy, but it was so pretty. I wanted the prettiest board ever. I didn't have the sights of where I was going, but I knew I wanted a paddleboard. So got that paddleboard, took it out on Christmas morning in the biggest surf. And as much as I would love to be, I am not a surfer. So I didn't have I'm a swimmer and I had the wave knowledge from just body surfing and being in the water and being a swimmer in the ocean. I've learned at this point, but I got that thing out over the waves and barely, I think I was vertical, in my mind, but couldn't come back in for like an hour. I just sat out there terrified.
Yeah, 12-foot paddleboard is not made for
big
it's not
surf.
easy to go in and out through big surf.
No,
right?
but so anyway, that was
But that's like the
my first
beginning.
day on my brand new board.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And that would have been in just before 99-ish, somewhere
Something
around
like that. And so then I went on, Steve Fairbrother was doing the crossing, the Catalina Classic, with a cast on his leg.
I did it that year.
Was that
No, my first was 96. Was
okay,
my
then
first.
maybe.
But I remember.
Maybe I knew about paddleboarding, but hadn't done it yet. Anyway, whatever. On that crossing, I was like, I'm gonna do this. I want to do this someday.
Oh, you went on his boat.
I was on his boat.
his escort boat.
Yeah, that was my first
Fairbrother.
experience with the whole
Fairbrother's
race.
a badass paddler. Was on the committee for a long time. I know the story of why he had a cast on. We won't share it here. Maybe I'll get him
I
to
know
come
that
talk
story
about
too.
it. It's not
That's
what
his
you
story
think.
to
It's
tell.
his story to tell. But a stud, incredible paddler.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to loop back. So that's where. So you've had your 2 daughters. You were ocean swimming. You found prone paddling, and you're still. Did you take a break from working with the peds when you were pregnant and having kids, or were you working all the way through?
I hadn't gone to peds yet.
Oh.
Well, 99 is when I went to peds. I went to peds after Jess, my second born, and because I worked at what did I do? Yeah, I worked at Little Company, and then I went to pediatrics right after that. 99, September of 99 is when I started at PTN.
And you were in your happy
Remember
place
that.
when you got there.
Yeah.
And so let's just stay on career for a while, and then we'll get back to paddling.
Okay.
Talk about the future once you got into peds. How was that? Why? Did you get what you were hoping to get out of it? Has it been talk about that world for you?
Yeah, I started working with age, all ages, up to 10 maybe, I think was probably my oldest one. And then I kind of went into, there's different areas, there's leaps and bounds, which is 18 months to 3 years. So it's early intervention. And that is just a lovely place to be, to give so much, it's a science and an art. They've always said physical therapy, especially with peds. And I know that, and my hands just knew what to do. Mm-hmm. It's like, you just get hands on. It's lovely. And then there's school based. And so I went to a preschool, it was called Launch, and it was age 3 to 5. And that is another amazing place, teaching teachers how to work on seating and posture and things like that in the classroom, but then out of the classroom, helping kids play, helping kids like learn how to climb a ladder, step up a step, be safe, like just all that stuff is so much fun and so meaningful. You know, it just is my heart watching all these kids learn things. And then there's like the clinic. So you work in the clinic also with older kids, and they're coming in after school, and you're doing all the things you need to do to help them have a more fun and abundant life. And so I did that for a long time. And then I took time off when my second daughter started kindergarten. And so I took time off, and I needed to focus on my kids. So I got involved with the kids. More of a lot of volunteering. I was like PTA secretary, then I was in charge of the PE program at elementary school, and then I taught PE, and then it's just all that PT president in middle school, and you know, swim team, whatever
like the
that
team mom. So
whatever that club is called, classroom mom, all that kind of stuff.
So you're a one-trick pony. You're all in, no matter what you do. Is that right?
Yeah, when I get in, yeah, I don't half banana it. Can I cuss in here? I don't half-ass. I think I probably already cussed.
You know Amy Spector well, right?
Yeah.
Amy's a South Bay hardcore paddler.
Oh, she's another level.
Well, she is for sure. But she said no half measures. That was like her tagline. No nothing's half-assed. Like nothing.
If you're gonna do it, do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Rad. You guys are cut from the same kind of cloth for sure. So you're full-time momming.
Yeah, I'm full-time momming for a while, and then we start doing, so my grandparents were huge travelers. They've traveled around the world on the QE2. They've been to so many places. They sent me, this is something that shaped me a little bit, is they sent me to Sweden when I was 12. And so my family was just breaking up, and I got a taste of a bigger world than where I was.
Rad.
Like
How
where
was
I
that?
lived. Amazing. My cousin lives there. So she's my age. So I got to stay with my cousin for a summer and see another like slice of life that was completely different than mine. And it was wonderful because I came back knowing there's more out there.
So it was impactful. It
was
left a mark.
Hugely impactful. Yeah, hugely impactful. And so fast forward to, I have my kids. I'm like, I want them to get out of the bubble too. I want them to see what life is like. So I've been traveling to Baja my whole life. I've been going to San Felipe, down further south, Bahia, Los Angeles, wherever. And my ex was a fireman in Manhattan, and so the Manhattan Beach Sister City Committee, their sister city was Santa Rosalia, and so I got to know the president and his wife, and I said, well, we want to come live there. And they're like, use our house. You can stay in our house. I mean, they're so generous down there. Everybody is just so kind. And so we went to Santa Rosalia, which is Baja Sur, right in the middle of Baja Peninsula, and we lived there for 4 months. And I worked at the special needs school. It's like it was like meant to be, because I walked in and I said in my broken Spanish, yo quiero work here, you know. And he was like, no, the physical therapist is pregnant and she's leaving. And I'm like, I'm coming to fill her spot. And he was like, what? And I said, I am here for 4 months. I will work while she's having her baby. I didn't even know this was happening. And so I got to just seamlessly be their therapist, and it was amazing. So
I would imagine down there, like here we have services are available around you if you have the ability to do it. But down there, it's probably much less available.
Yeah, they had the school and the therapist.
And you get.
And I went in when she came out, and then she came back when I moved home. So it was lovely. But my kids got the experience of being in school, for better or for worse. You know, it was hard. It was really challenging, I think, for them to be in a new culture, especially my younger one. She constantly would go to the older one's classroom. But I guess in my mind, down the road, this is going to be an experience that you get to draw from. Hard things, you know, create amazing lives. So not that I thought that at the time. I think that maybe now. But at the time, I was like, this is an amazing experience. Think how you get to be exposed to a new language, a new culture, and all this. So we did that, and then.
Hold on, you said that kind of under your breath, that like hard things makes for incredible people, or hard things makes for incredible experiences. Is that is that how you look at the world?
I think so. Like, yeah, I draw on that a lot.
It sounds like.
Yeah.
From what you do and how you do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So overall, 4 months down there, net, it was a good experience for everybody?
Yeah, I think so. And then a couple of years later, we went to Europe for 6 months. Just one backpack, one bag, and just went to maybe 50 plus countries, just traveling the whole time and learning. And I homeschooled and for both of those situations.
Were the girls into that in Europe?
Yeah, I think so. They were 10 and 12, which was, I felt, the proper ages before they became teenagers and really needed their friends and needed that kind of community. So I felt like it was a really good time. And
has that impacted their lives, that experience of travel like yours in Sweden?
I think we'll see. I think that will come. We'll see.
In time.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, they're 28 and 30 now.
How do you have 28 and 30? It's crazy, DJ. It's amazing.
So we'll see.
Done. Awesome. Do you continue to work in the peds space, PT?
Well, I kind of created my own business now. So it's kids that I've known. I only have 3 clients, and they're kids I've known for some time. And I call it more of a I use my PT license and I do all the right things that way, but it's more of a recreation type situation because these kids are in their early 20s and they have special needs. And I started with learning all about aquatics. And I started an aquatic program at PTN right before I left. And so I know a lot about aquatics and how important it is for your body to be in water and all of the things we all know, just intuitively. And are we as water people? And so I do things on a paddleboard with kids. It works on like extension and balance and the same kind of things you could do on a ball with a child, you can do on a paddleboard with an older child who's heavier and harder to manage. I work in a pool. I work at a gym with a child. And so it's more of a recreation type business, but it's one-on-one and it's amazing. And I started an adaptive water polo team for kids with a lot of volunteers right before COVID. And after COVID, I couldn't really pull it all back together again. Plus, I got involved in a restaurant, and
we'll talk about that for sure.
That's a whole nother story.
Right.
But yeah, so it's what fills up my cup of service and love and gratitude, and these kids mean everything to me. So
that's so great. So you've really customized the experience for each of those kids based on their needs and your expertise.
Yes.
Rad. Is there a name of your organization? Or it doesn't need to be because it's just one off?
Yeah, I've thought about name.
Got it.
There isn't one yet.
Gotcha. Well, those kids are probably super lucky to get that kind of experience with you in those environments.
I feel really lucky every time I'm with them.
Good for you. Well, we all know like the degree of need out there is pretty friggin' high. So having people that have the kind of experience and passion for it that you do is a godsend. So thanks for what you do out there. Super cool.
Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. So you mentioned the restaurant and you're wearing Oceans Prone on the shirt, but we'll come back around to that because we're gonna jump back into prone paddling.
Yeah.
Okay. This is like the meat of how I know you and how a lot of people know you.
Yes.
You talked about the entree into it, that first race that you did on the prone board that Joe says, no, you're not swimming, you're doing this. I love the fact that you said that ocean swimming intrigued you. You started, you suck, but by the end, you're like, I want to do a 3 miler. Can I do it? And you're like, not afraid of solo swimming. Like solo ocean swimming is a whole different animal. Like,
it's
I
amazing.
love ocean paddling, but ocean swimming, I always say when I was doing it, when I was in college in San Diego, if there was one other person in the water near me, I was good. But if I was solo, every shape, every piece of seaweed is a shark, is a monster. Like my heart rate would be 80, way off the charts. So it takes a different kind. I see people ocean swimming solo up and down the coast here, and I'm like, whew, they're just way tougher than I am.
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's
out
mental,
there.
Physical for sure. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you do that first one. You just talked about on Christmas. You bought yourself a board. Joe made it for you. You made it out through the surf. You ultimately made it back in. When did the racing begin? And how? This is around 2000, right? Give or take. So you would have been in 2000. You would have been.
I think I was 34.
34 when you started prone paddling. Pretty incredible.
I was 34.
Okay.
Yeah, people would ask me, "Oh, did you swim in college? Where did you?" And I'm like, No, and they go, what was your sport before? And I was like, oh, I have a scrapbooking background. I used to do a lot of scrapbooking. People are like, what the
They're
hell?
like, what?
Yeah, that's my joke.
Well, no one.
That's my funny.
Right, that makes sense. In the paddling world, nobody would believe that because we all see you paddle. And you said you paddled yesterday in big, like,
Oh,
you
yeah,
haven't stopped.
yesterday was
You haven't
fun.
slowed down.
No.
Okay, so maybe take us to the, like, what, it sounds like mentally you're already like, I want to do more. I want to push myself.
I've always been a pusher.
I've always been a pusher. And you said you were on Steve Fairweather's, Fairbrother's boat for the Classic, and you saw it. And did you go, I'm going to do this?
Well, the crazy thing is my two biggest fears are fog and container ships. And that's what we encountered on that race. But I still was like, I need to do this because, you know, by the time that's all done and you're near the end, the fog's gone and the container ships are gone, then it's like so exciting. But yeah, that's when
we've all had those experiences. If you do it enough times, you're going to run into a container ship, you're going to run into fog.
Yes.
And those days were maybe not pre-GPS, but it wasn't as prolific as it is now.
Right? Like on every board.
On every board.
Yeah.
Yeah, very different. Okay, so when did you do it when did you do the Classic for the first time?
Okay, so my very first year was 2007.
Okay.
And so I was paddling. I did my first rock to rock was 2002. So I've done the rock to rock a number of times as well.
What's the rock to rock for anybody's sake?
Rock to rock is from Twin Harbors, same start as Catalina, and then you finish when I first started doing it, we finished at Abalone Cove, and just
Abalone Cove is where the old, what was that called? The old amusement park kind of thing?
Oh yeah, like Marineland
was there.
Yeah,
now
just a little further south than that. It first finished right at
Right.
Marineland.
Yep.
It was like this little alleyway down there, and then I don't think I did it. Then I was on the finish. I was waiting at the finish, or something. I was very into this paddling thing at the time. Anywhere they were, I was trying to get there. And then Abalone Cove, and now it finishes at Cabrillo Beach.
Yeah. I think I did the rock to rock. I probably did it 10 times, but the first year I did it was the first year in 1997. And yeah, we finished. I had never been to Palos Verdes, and I had never been to Marineland. And you walk up the cliff and through the old Marineland amusement park. Like
It was still there.
it was still there.
Oh, wow.
And it was like an old movie. You were like walking through this, like pretty wild at the time.
Oh yeah,
It was
I never
pretty neat.
saw it. I never saw it like as an amusement park. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was training and I was doing all the Hennessy races, and I was really excited. And there was only one other woman there, Jane Cairns, and she was such a good paddler. Yeah. And so I'd walk up to a race and I'd be like, second place, yes.
But that's
because there's just two of us.
We'll get there, but I think this is a really formative thing. Like there were very few women at the time. There's always been, in the history of prone paddling, there's always been a couple here and there, but Jane was incredible. She won it many times. She was my boat. She was my escort boat a couple of years after when she didn't race. Amazing. I haven't seen her in a long time. It'd be fun to chase her down. She was Santa Barbara based. But yeah, like you've been instrumental in the women in sport part. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But at the time, like you said, there was one or two of you.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So 2007, your first Classic.
Right. So to back that up, 2006, I started the South Bay Mermaids, that paddleboard club for women.
Perfect. Okay, I just mentioned the women. Talk about, so you started the Mermaids before you did your first Classic, but you'd already done the Rock to Rock.
I'd done Rock to Rock a few times.
Got it.
Yeah. So, but I started this, so it was so funny because I started emailing all the people who said, I want to try that. I've heard that for years and years. And the two people I really wanted to get into it was Amy Bark. I'm like, Amy, you got to paddle.
Joe Bark's
Come
wife.
on. And she wouldn't do it. But anyway, so I started emailing people who all said they wanted to do it. None of them are mermaids. But in the wake of that, I would run into girls here and there, and they all wanted to join. So my friend Holly, Christina, Amanda, Odessa. Oh, I got to tell you my story of meeting Odessa. And Madeline, we all started paddling together, and never had there been more than 3 women at one time in the Catalina Classic. And so in 2007, a year that we'd been training together, and I'm like, girls, we have to do this. I was so fired up. We were having so much fun, paddling, training. There were 11 in 2007 who did the Classic. And so that year...
All mermaids?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all the girls. We all did it.
Your whole crew?
Yeah. And so Joe Ambrosi and I sat down.
Australian lifeguard, right?
Yeah.
Joe?
With I think it was George Lauren. Yeah, it was George Lauren. And we sat down. We said we need a women's trophy because years before it's just they're not
just men's pretty much.
So we
classics.
started this women's trophy, which is still going on, which is wonderful. But we had 11 women. So from then I've just been trying to get more and more women in it.
Does it still exist, the mermaids?
The mermaids exist very loosely. Like we all consider ourselves mermaids. We have a text thread and wish each other happy birthday. But we used to do like dinners and things. We just haven't.
Yeah, life, right?
Yeah. But I just cherish each one of them. So it is still a special thing. And who knows, maybe we'll reignite it and get everyone together again.
But it really has.
But I think people, I still tell people, if you go to the R10 with me, you become a mermaid, and then you get the sticker and all the things.
Is that the way it worked?
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it really has. A big part of what we'll talk about is you're still super active in driving the growth of the sport and the evolution of the sport, and women in sport or in prone has always been a big part of your MO and what you've been focused on. And now there's women paddlers everywhere. It's outstanding. It's so good for the sport. It's good for everything. Like I always say, businesses with lots of really, really strong women personalities is good for business. Having really strong paddlers, whatever sport, it's so good to have not the diversity, just a wider breadth of people. And it makes it fun. Like we've got a bunch of women here in Newport that paddle, and they've added a whole nother layer of fun and energy, and it's totally different. Like the guys will say, it used to be we were like, we're just gonna go out and grind it and race, and then the girls come, it's fun, hey, let's go get donuts afterward. And they've really added a lovely level to the community, which is super cool. But
they're fierce,
and they're fast, right?
They're fast.
They're fun, fierce, and fast. They're the F words, just like you. But it's really I think it's a lot of the DJ Wilson model, right? Thanks. Come to play, make it fun, go hard, go fast.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Well done. No, it's huge. It really is a big deal that you've done that. And just because we're talking about the classic, how many times have you done it?
I've done 17.
17. So you started at 35. I mean, that's what another piece. Like, there's no age limit to sport, right? This is an endurance sport.
No. And that's the thing I want to keep pushing out there. That's why I think it's so important to acknowledge whether there's one woman in the race or more. If there's only one, you need to acknowledge her because other women will see that. That's my thing is you acknowledge. People will say, there's not enough, so we didn't make it. I'm like, no, you have to, because other women will say, oh my gosh, she did it, I can do it. And there's that opportunity. Don't miss that opportunity. Yeah,
the Classic has a long legacy, a long history, and the Perpetual Trophy has two categories, unlimited in stock, but there's no men or women. Now there's some races these days that have every age group, like there's 87 trophies. The Classic's a little bit more core, but women need to be included equally.
Absolutely, and that's been a big push, big deal of mine. And I've kind of been somebody who doesn't really want to make waves. I like, making everything okay for everybody. But I've had to really push for this because it's so important. And so we've had a stock class now for a while. That's why we've had the trophy, we've had the stock. But we didn't have an unlimited, and people would say, well, there's not enough women. I'm like, because you don't invite them.
Yep.
You put a button on the thing on the registration that says stock or unlimited for women, and that unlimited button will get pushed.
Yep.
So it's on there. Last year was the first year we had an unlimited button to push. So
and I think
I am stoked about that. That is huge.
And it just takes you have to have. I think the distinction is you have to have 3 people per class to have it to be considered a class.
Let's go with that. You have to have 3.
Something like that. I don't know exactly. Something like that.
I'm going to say 3.
Okay. So you've done 17 classics.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, it's funny. Do you remember when you used to sign up for the Classic? They would say, why are you doing the Classic?
Yep.
I used to write every year because I love it. That's all I would write, because I love it. And I do. I love it. In the beginning, I wanted to finish it. I was so excited. My first Classic, so nervous, so excited. I just wanted to finish it. And I was so grateful, and I did it. And then I wanted to
win it,
do well. And then I wanted to win. Like, doing well was one thing, but then I really wanted to win. And then did. And now I just want to get in there. I want people to know I'm still doing it. It doesn't really matter if people know I'm still doing it. What I mean is at this age, you can still do this. And there's more women my age now.
For sure.
There's a bunch. It's amazing. We have Jasmine down in San Diego. We've got Amy Dantzler up here. She's like, people are rocking it in their older, and women can do that. And so, well, the men do. Women can do it too.
100%.
So now I just want to keep going until I reach my goal.
What's your goal?
20.
How old are you going to be? Well, so you've done 17 and you're 60. So by the time you're going to get to retirement age, see, we hear you
I'll
say
be
that.
63 coming
None of
across
us-
that channel.
if you
I don't
can
know
see-
if it's going to be a very...
If you can see DJ's shoulders right now, I gave her a hug. She's like hugging this table. Like we'll come back here after your 20th and we'll talk again because I think you're going to go.
Maybe
Well, I
I'll
can
go
still
unlimited.
do a few more.
Then I'll go unlimited.
Right. Oh, unlimited. So you've been a stock paddler every
I'm a
time?
stock paddler.
So stock is 12-foot
Always.
class.
Yeah.
And
Well, I do have to say, 2004, I did the rock to rock on a 14, and I didn't like it. So I came back to stock.
Got it. How many times have
But
you
it was
won
a
it? Catalina Classic.
Did twice. Yeah.
How'd that feel?
Great.
Yeah?
It was amazing. Yeah. 2015 and 2018.
Good
It's
for you.
super
Congratulations. As I always say, I have no wins. I've got none. I'm not on the trophy. Not a once. Not once. Well done.
Thanks.
What is it about? I always ask people that have done this channel, like, what is it about living in a place where you can see the island every day? You can, on a day like today, it's super windy and hot and beautiful. You can see
Yeah.
that island really clearly. How does it feel knowing that you've paddled that a whole lot of times?
Oh, it's amazing. I love looking out there and seeing that. And, I don't know, sometimes it looks like, that's not so bad. And sometimes it's like, I don't know if I could do that today. That's crazy. How did I get to do that? So it's a mind boggle about that distance.
How many times, do you know how many times you've crossed the channel?
Oh, I don't know. Because I do another crossing with Morgan in the Mermaid Army. So I do that.
There's a lot more crossings now.
I know. I want to do them all. I haven't done the bend yet. I'd love to do that.
Oh, come do it with us this year.
Yeah, I think I might.
Oh, please do. Jack and Katie Barr came and did it with us last year.
Oh, I love that.
You got to come do that.
Yeah, I'd love to.
We'd love to have you. If somebody, you said that at one point in time you had put out like feelers to people that had said, "Oh, I want to do it," and what would you say to people that look at that island and go, "I see people paddling"? Like, what would you say? Like, do it. Here are the reasons to do it. What would you tell them?
Depends on who I'm talking to, first of all. I have to see where their energy is. But if I'm going to talk about just in general why somebody would do that, is because it is bigger than you. It's in the ocean. And the ocean is just such a healing place. It's such an amazing place. It's such an energy-filled space that is right there, accessible to everybody. And to tap into that, it's a whole nother level of finding yourself. Yeah. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, listen, the other thing is when you're out there, because what's your average time crossing it during the classic? 32 miles on a stockboard.
Well, we can go with...
or what's your fastest? You can tell whatever
my fastest was 6:17.
That's fast.
Yeah,
on a
that was a
stockboard?
good
really
one.
fast.
Yeah, that was the year. I think Carter still holds the record at 6:08, and I did 6:17 that year.
Carter's last name is
Carter Graves.
That's right.
Yeah, she's a legend. And my longest was 2023. It was gnarly. That was like the gnarly year, and it was 8:15.
It's a long day on the water.
And I got second place. Like, it was crazy.
It's long for everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, if it's hard for everyone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right?
That's a great mentality too. You have to think that when you're out there, like when you know you're struggling, everyone's struggling. You're all in the same
Yeah.
sea. So
The pain cave together.
Yeah.
And then you see people smash it and you're like, how were they so fast when it was that bad? Right. Which is always
that's
amazing.
where I might, my friend Eddie calls it DJ water.
DJ water.
Yeah.
You like
it's
shitty
gnarly.
conditions?
Yeah.
Ugh, I don't.
Well, it's not like I like it. I'm just really
You're
good
good.
at
Why?
it.
Why are you good in those conditions?
Because I'm a pusher. Because I like the challenge. I like the fight. Not the fight. I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover, not a fighter. But I just like pushing my body. I like that hard work. I really like it.
Got it. Good for you. I like it when it's good condition.
Yeah.
We've
Well,
all had-
that's
listen,
beautiful
if
too.
you
I mean,
do it
it's
enough-
all fun. It's all beautiful.
If you've done the classic as many times as you have, you've seen that channel in every different light.
Yeah.
Good conditions,
Yeah.
shit conditions, easy, super hard, everything in between. Yeah.
It's fun when you do have a really good year, like then the next year, 2024, that was a really good year. And like from the R10 in, you're laughing because you're on your
The last
knees
10
and you're
miles,
like,
yeah.
okay, I am passing
like
people
downwind,
and I am on
all
a
the-
downwinder and
yeah.
I am having a blast, you know, but there's a space. I mean, there's such a space. There's so many spaces in the Catalina Classic that you go and ways of being that you go through. And like one of my biggest ones, when I go through that in the middle of the channel, is like this massive gratitude, you know, where you hit that. I hit a 9 mile mark, and that's when I just get deep, and that's
So you hold on, 9 miles in or 9 miles to go?
About 9 miles of heavy paddling. I just sink into this space of, and I've done it so many times, I really recognize it, and I kind of look forward to it now. I'm like, am I at 9? I'm at 9, and then I just start feeling. I feel the kids I work with. I feel the people who can't do what I do. I feel it keeps me going. It pushes me harder. It makes me have so much gratitude. And I know it's paddling, but it's more than that. It's an experience that each person needs to experience for themselves, but that's how I experience it, in that gratitude. And then, you know, and then it's getting longer into the race, and it's harder, and you're just pulling at what you have. And I always think now, in the beginning, it was just struggle.
Go.
Struggle.
Yeah, right.
But now it's like the experience that I've had. Now it's like, I know that in a couple hours, I won't be doing this anymore. I'll be on the shore. Yeah. I'll be going to a dinner. The next day, I'll probably like have like laundry to do and things.
Right.
Like,
back to domestic chores.
Yeah. So while I'm here, take it in. Enjoy every minute. Look for every piece of joy that you have out here, because it is a space to be in that you don't get to do this. You don't get to paddle a really long way with all your best friends every day. So this day is such a special day. And so like the classics like my New Year's. The next day starts the whole next year for me. That's the pinnacle of my year.
Dude, I love that, DJ. That's such a good way to look at it. I really, Catalina is my New Year's. That's a brilliant like metaphor for it. It is. It's super special. I think it's an ultra marathon. I mean, anything over a marathon is an ultra, and over 30 is pretty typically considered that. So you're doing 32 miles. It's way slower than running, right? The fastest ever was Jack Bark at like 4:56 or 4:58. Yeah. That's the fastest ever. That tells you how tough it is for anybody. And that the tougher it is, the more the accomplishment, right? And all the variability that goes into conditions. We all struggle with the weather, looking at conditions the week in advance of it. But I love that, you know, being out there. I always say, like I was talking earlier about the stress I feel at the start.
Yeah.
But once you're in, the stress goes away. Now you have a goal. Now you have a plan. You know, it took me a long time to get to the kind of headspace that you're talking about, because my first bunch of years, I was really competitive, and I'd be out there just going as hard as I could, and who's ahead of me and who's coming up on me. And I was never going to win it, but I was trying to do my best. And it wasn't until years later that I was like, oh, I see some guys over there going about the same pace as me. I'm going to paddle over, and I might as well just paddle with them. And it was Matt Walls and Doug Weems. And we ended up paddling the second half of the race together, like a training paddle, chatting the whole time, picking off people. And it was the most fun. And since then, every year I've done it like, who can I paddle with? Who's around? Who can I talk to?
I totally see you like that too.
It's so much better. And,
Yeah.
and I'm probably just as fast as I was when I was grinding and stressing.
Yeah. I kind of wish I could get into that space. Like this last race, Annalise came up to me and said something, and I was just like,
You were just in the tunnel.
I can't even talk when I'm there. No matter, I mean, I wasn't trying to win. I was just trying to do my best, but I still couldn't.
You know, DJ, it's funny. I remember it because we did
I felt so bad.
we did the J race, the J Moriarty Memorial race up in Santa Cruz a bunch of years ago, and I came up next to you at one point, and you wouldn't. I don't know if you couldn't or wouldn't, but you were like, you wouldn't talk. Like, I think you acknowledged me and then head back down, and I was like, oh, I guess DJ doesn't want to talk today, you know. But I appreciate the competitive spirit, because I wasn't near the front, and you were probably the front for women, for your category, and you had a mission.
I remember that.
And I didn't. I just wanted to talk.
That was side dooring. Was
dooring.
that it was
Probably.
when we were side dooring?
Yes.
In the
exactly
parking lot
with Joe in Joe's van.
instead of tailgating.
That was a good time. Side dooring with Joe Bark. That's a good story. I was looking for a sea lion to high five, and you were looking to win the race.
Yeah, that's really it takes me out of my zone.
Yes.
You know, I get a zone. And
I remember it clearly. I really do, because when I first paddled up on you the time in the paddle run paddle, we were just chat. So I think I kind of expected that again.
Yeah.
This was within a couple of years of that we were friends, but I got the tunnel vision. I'm racing. Don't talk to me. Look.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, have fun. Go get it, sister.
But have a nice after.
Yes, we had a couple Pacificos after for sure. Listen, talking about a little bit more about racing, Molokai, you've done quite a few.
7 times.
7 times.
3 times team, and then 4 times solo.
Solo.
Yeah.
How's that been for you?
Oh, Molokai's insane.
Insane. It's
It
so
is
hard to
so
train for it
amazing.
here, in my opinion.
It is, you got to hit those afternoons or yesterday morning, and then you can really get it. And what we used to do is go out on Joel's boat and drop in the water about 5 or 7 miles out.
Joel
Pepper
Yep.
Pepper had a great little boat that he put racks on. We'd put our boards on. We'd go out and drop in and then just bomb it in. That's when like Lockie was coming out to train, and that was super fun. And
Lockie Lansdowne? Jack, yep.
yeah, super fun. And those were some really, really good trainings. Now it's like getting out on Palos Verdes. You just watch the Windy app, and when there's a time frame, you go and get some downwind out there. And yeah, but otherwise, I do a lot of interval training for that, and I love that race. That's a nervous start line. That was the most. It just. You know it's huge. You know it's big water. You know it's a long way. You know there's sharks. It's the wild. Yeah. It's the wild out there.
So while the Catalina Classic is the most iconic historic race, the Molokai to Oahu is really considered the most competitive from like a world championship perspective. It's totally different. Same distance.
And it has the stand-up element in it as well.
Stand up and foils. I mean, everybody
now they
races
have 2 weekends.
Yeah, 2 different.
So
ones.
that's a good thing, because my 1 year I'm paddling and dude, foil come like
They're
he
so
I was
fast.
like, what the heck? He's so fast. I was afraid he's gonna hit me. No, but it was crazy.
The foils compared to prone boards is like a Ferrari going next to a Pinto, like
or a VW.
Or a VW. You watch those go, it's incredible. They're going 16, 18 miles an hour across that
They're
channel,
so
and we're going 5 to 6.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I always say, and we'll leave it with this on Molokai, but it is Molokai to Catalina is like giant slalom skiing to moguls. Same sport, but completely different application. So that's why when I was
downwinding is different.
Very different.
It's very different, and it's a skill. It's a skill set to learn, and I've been learning it every year. And I got third once. I got the bowl. I was like, that was so awesome. 2017.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Good for you. I mean it is a whole different animal, and it's big water. There's a lot of storytelling we could go into about that channel.
Yes.
But it's so iconic.
Yeah.
Now you also represented the United States in the ISA games at one point. How was that?
That was so fun.
Where was that?
That was in Denmark. Yeah, I got to go to Denmark. So just like little backstory, I was 4th runner-up. Nobody could go, so I got to go. So just so that's out there. But I did go, and I did my best, and I had a blast. And it was the time Jordan Mercer was there, and
Australian hammer.
and Lockie was over there, and Lockie and I are really good friends. So it was really fun to go over there. And then Annabelle Anderson also, we're really good friends. So she was there. So it was just fun because I knew people from other countries, and I got to know some people. I met a lot of people from other countries who I still am in touch with. And yeah, it was amazing. It was like, as a little girl, watching gymnastics and wanting to be an Olympian.
Yeah, you
but
mentioned
I'm never going to be
right?
an Olympian. I got to go to the Olympics, the paddleboard Olympics. Like, it felt really fun because you wear all your USA stuff, and all the countries are wearing their things, and you march, and it's so cool. It was great. It was really special.
Well, considering you had said that, your goal is to be in the Olympics.
It wasn't a true goal.
Yeah,
but
but you wanted to be in the Olympics, or you wanted to work with pediatric kids. You've done both.
Yes. Oh,
right?
Yeah, that's
right?
cool. That's kind of cool.
And then you go on to go 17 classics on your way to 20, 7 Molokais.
on my way to
Represent
10.
on your way to 10. Oh, is that right? You got
think
3
so.
more there?
I think so.
I love that. Good for you.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean,
so.
age is not a factor here, and that's the beauty of it. But like, you're like, I turned 60 this year, and I've got all this still on my horizon.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it? Is it physical, mental combination that's allowed you to not even think about age in your pursuit of your goals?
I think it's just how I feel, and I have slowed down a lot, I think. I mean, and I'm having like some heart tests going on.
Yeah. I've been
having
there
like
with you
some
too.
physical things. Yep. And there's things I had a neck surgery like 10 years ago, and just things that I know like are going to happen, but I'm doing what I can to keep myself healthy and happy and fulfilled, and all those things play into general health. So yeah, and paddling is so good for you. I mean, I don't find anything negative about it. I don't come home going, oh, I hurt here because of, I feel better.
Well, we always say, like, you're in nature, you're with friends, you're pushing your body, you're in the ocean. Like,
In the ocean.
show me something bad about it.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned, just because it's a fun story, you told me you went out yesterday morning. It was super windy up in South Bay. Tell us about so here's again, don't take it wrong. 60-year-old woman going for a cracker morning paddle. Conditions were pretty on, right?
Yeah.
You said it was big water. Mm-hmm. And yet, sounds like it was pretty banging out there.
Oh, it was so fun. Yeah. So we paddled 2 miles into the wind. So we came out of Redondo Harbor, and then we turned to the right because the wind's coming north-south, and we go straight into it. And that is fun in itself because it's just the wind's in your face and it's crazy. And I love getting on my knees in those conditions because I feel like I'm just like riding whoop-de-doos and like going up and down through the waves. And it's hard and it's fun. And then, but you know that you're going to turn around, you're going to get this full reward of the downwind going back. So yesterday, though, I turned around and the sun was so bright and the wind was howling. And I didn't have, as a smart 60-year-old woman, I didn't have a leash on my board. And I didn't want to lose my board. And I do fall in conditions like that occasionally on my knees. But I love knee paddling in those conditions because that's my strong suit, is knee paddling, because I have like some left arm, whatever. And so prone paddling isn't my strongest
Same as me.
position. So the knee paddling is better, but I couldn't get on my knees the whole time because I was afraid I was going to lose my board, and then I can't see in the sun. The glare on the water, it's like 6:30 or 7 o'clock by that time in the morning. Anyway, it was beautiful.
Rad.
It was so beautiful. It was cold. It was fun.
See, this is the pusher. This is like, you like that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because afterwards, like I always know there's going to be something different later. So enjoy where you are now, because that's where you are. Be where your feet are, where your board is, where your hands are. Be there. And then there's going to be, Kurt always brings the hot water bottle, like a huge orange, the igloo container full of hot water. So we're going to be warm and cozy soon enough. Hot coffee.
It's like that book, The Comfort Crisis. Your bed's always going to be there. Go get uncomfortable.
Ooh, I
right?
like that. Yeah. Yeah, be uncomfortable. It's good for you.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
A lot of us don't like
of
it.
people are uncomfortable.
Yeah. 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 Not around. Yes. I think there's a lot to being uncomfortable and pushing yourself. And again, I think the evidence shows, DJ, it clearly works if you do it right. Well, listen, talking more about prone, you guys not only, clearly there's a giant passion for it and decades of doing it, but you've turned it into a business.
Yeah.
Talk about like career 2 or 3.0 for you. You're wearing it on your shirt. Talk about Oceans Prone and what that has turned into. There's like 2 pieces of it, right?
Yeah. So I met Kurt Fry in October of 2017, and we became fast friends. And then we started dating, and then he had an idea, which I've learned over the years. He has lots of ideas, and when Kurt Fry says, "I have an idea," you just take a deep breath and get ready, because it's going to be a good one. So he thought, he had started paddling a couple years before that. So, and I hadn't met him yet. I hadn't met him in the paddling world yet until that time. And he was like, I have this idea to teach people to paddle, to like start a company where we rent boards, we do races, we have a race series, we do, you know, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, I don't really know how to like, I mean, I know how to bring people to paddle. It sounds amazing, but and he's like, you've been paddling forever. You're the face. We're going to do this. Let's just do it. And so he like got a logo. He did all this stuff. He's from like more of the sales and business aspect of the world.
Also a big water polo guy.
Oh yeah. He's a huge water polo player, huge swimmer. He played for UCLA and just and a dynamite guy, just like friendly, fun, all the
F's.
He's all the F's. And he's Fry.
And he's a Fry. All right, we got a new shirt coming.
and he's just motivated, like always positive, always looking at the glass at, you know, what do we have to look forward to? It's constant fun. And so he starts this business and it's awesome.
He starts or we start?
Well, it's his business, but I'm in it. I mean, it's our business, but he really...
He was a visionary.
He's the visionary.
And went out and built it.
Yeah, and he bought all these boards, and we started, you know, teaching people to paddle, and then we started a race series, and then, of course, COVID hits. So after the first year, so we started it in 2018, and then in 2019 we had the race series, and then COVID. But during COVID, he was president of a water polo club, and those kids didn't have pools. Mm-hmm. So we took all our boards, went down to Long Beach, where it's nice and calm, and we laid out the boards and we did like 3 sessions a day of water polo kids, socially distanced, paddling. We had a write-up in South Bay Magazine by Jared Sayers, did this write-up about it. It was so amazing to get, I don't know, it was 100 kids learning to paddle in this whole COVID time where they needed something, and we did it. It was exhausting and so exciting, and it was so great. Yeah, so that was super fun. So now Ocean's Prone, we have merch, we do rash guards, we've provided rash guards for the Catalina Classic. We teach people to paddle, and we've brought hundreds of people into the sport. We got Amy into the sport and Brent just from that's in our little group that we paddle with right now. And just people are calling and wanting lessons, and you know, people say, well, you can just get a board and go, but do you know how to pick up the board?
Right.
Do you know how to put it on your car? I mean, we've gone to people's homes to teach them how to put their board on their car, how to tie it, how to make racks in their garage. It's anything you need to know about prone paddling. We got you, and it's fun. And Kurt makes everything fun. So, and
it's that F again. It's Fry. Fun.
We are all. I just need a shirt with an F.
I think we're gonna do it.
Yeah, so it's been a
That's so great.
really cool business. And
we've been watching the sport explode. Maybe that might be an overstatement. It's exploding within its small little footprint.
Yes.
But down here, you know, since the Bend Did Go started 10 years ago, you know, there used to be, you know us, there used to be 3 of us that would paddle prone here out of Newport. And now it's a huge community down here, men, women, kids, all ages.
I see that.
And it's incredible. And we're watching that happen up and down the coast because people are finding out, oh, this is really cool. And I think COVID was really good for people getting out, trying new sports, getting into the water, and then finding new ways to go push themselves, to your point. So, thanks for doing that. It's so great.
Oh, yeah.
But also,
love it.
You turned it into something else on top of that, too.
So, yeah, we always kind of looked for a place to parlay the paddling out of, and like a brick and mortar kind of a situation. But everything's so expensive. It's hard to like do all that for a startup business. So one day Kurt he texts me, how would you like to own a restaurant? With all these little emojis, you know, little chef hat and burgers and all this stuff. And here we go. I have an idea. And so I wrote back, sure, never done that before. And so we got this lease for a cafe that his friend's sister is selling her lease. So we take over the lease, and it's on the beach in Dockweiler. We name it Ocean's Cafe and Grill, and we thought this is perfect. We'll get a cook and some people to run it, and we'll parlay the paddleboarding out of it. Well, Dockweiler Beach, if you know Dockweiler Beach up in LA, is a short pound, not a good place for beginners, but we have a restaurant. So we don't have a cook. It didn't come with a cook, and we didn't have a manager. It didn't come with that either. So Kurt's out front, I'm cooking for like the first half year, 6 months. It's crazy. Neither one of us knew anything about the restaurant business, but we learned fast. And so now we're in our 6th year, I think, and we have a thriving business. People are working there right now. I'm right here.
Hallelujah.
So,
well done.
Yeah, so it's been really fun. And another funny thing is we have a fryer.
Oh,
right.
Fry. A lot of F's.
A lot of F's.
Fryer. Is there like a mission behind Ocean's Cafe, or is it really tied into the world, or has it become more of just like a freestanding cafe business?
It's just, I think it's our business.
Oh.
It just became the job. It's like, that's what we have. But we like the combination with, and if we could move to a space where we had the cafe near a bay, we would have the whole situation. And I think it's kind of cool that we started something that we've never done before and have made it successful. So it's kind of, I don't know.
Are you guys enjoying it?
Yeah, we do. We do love it. Yeah, and we have a lot of regulars that we've become friends with, and we don't know what the future is for this. We'll see where it goes.
Got it. Who do you cater to there primarily? Is it?
We have a lot of cyclists because we're right on the bike path. So the cyclists will come, and then it's near an RV park, so they'll come. We get a lot of airport people coming down. They look for some place to have breakfast on the beach or a good spot for a layover, and so we're there. Yeah.
Do you sell Pacifico?
We don't sell any alcohol.
No beer, alcohol. You don't have it. Not on the beach.
Not on the beach.
I guess that makes sense. That's such a great story. It's really interesting how it's all kind of like, some of it's been by design, some of it was completely like, it's Kurt's brain.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never done that before. Let's give it a whirl.
Were we talking about ADHD earlier? I don't know. We might want to throw that in.
Right, for sure. But it also, I'm guessing, like, pressure makes diamonds, right? Like you open a restaurant, you got to make it work, and you're like,
yeah.
I've never worked in a restaurant, and here I am cooking for 6 months, right?
Right. I think I lost 20 pounds
Yeah,
in the kitchen.
That's a lot of work and stressful, right? It's on you.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I took off and went to Costa Rica for a couple of weeks. I'm like, I need to
Wise.
get out of here for a little while.
Smart.
Yeah, but just we've gradually now we have kids. I guess a good mission on the restaurant front is we mentor kids. Mm-hmm. Like high school kids have come to us. We have one girl who has worked for us since she was like 15, and she's now in college, and she's coming back for spring break next week and wants to work. And she's like, this job's given me so much confidence and so much, they're interfacing with the public. And so a lot of the kids who work for us come back and have gone off to college, and one used us in their college application write-up.
Well done.
Yeah. So it is really neat in that regard. We've taught a lot of people, a lot of kids. Good things.
Yeah, we're really
working hard.
Yeah, well,
it's more about hard work.
Yeah, right.
Because it is hard work,
and you got to be able to, especially these days when communication's often for the kids that age, it's all on their phone, and make them stand in front of people and deal with customers and issues and all that. Like, it's a skill that's invaluable, and it's harder and harder to get.
Yeah, and how to smile and greet the public and have that kind of it's all of that.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, we're the same.
And what a broom is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know that. I sell them and use them in our stores. So I totally. But there's a real power and a value to teaching people those real skills on the job that they can take it. And it's fun to watch. They go to college, they come back, you watch them go in their career. They always have a tie to what we do. Like, lovely. Good for you guys.
Yeah.
Super cool.
So that is a good.
Well, you mentioned mentoring, and I know you talked about the Mermaids, and you've really helped bring people into the sport. How important is mentoring to you, whether you providing it or someone providing it to you in your life?
It's everything. It's how we learn. It's how we grow, is being able to be there for somebody, or it's community. Like, I don't know how to answer that. It's just, I learn so much from so many people, and I give back whatever I can. I mean, in the paddling community, we're friends with people who are in their 20s, as well as people in their 70s, and everywhere in between. And so, I have some mermaids that come to me for like life questions and things like that. And outside of paddling, it's just, there's so much. I love sharing anything that I've gone through or whatever I can do to help. It's kind of been my thing of my whole life, is helping. How can I help? What can I do?
Well, you said you figured that out when you were 10 years old. I want to help kids. I want to teach kids to walk, right? And you've been doing it your whole life.
Yes.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, I like it.
I mean, it fills you up, as it should. I mean, it's pretty cool. Like, right at our ages, to be able to look back or look what we're doing today or what we've done and the influence, like you can look back at the Mermaids and all the impact, look at all the women in sport of prone paddling, look at the button on the sign up for women, the kids that you've influenced, you talk about at Oceans Cafe, the people you've taught through Oceans Prone. Like, dude, it's so rad. And again,
and my daughters.
And your
hoping that
daughters.
they're always growing and strong
and the kids you
moving
work
forward
with in the nameless business that you operate.
I know, is that crazy?
Hey, it's cool if you can do it.
It's called Donna Jo Wilson.
Donna. So did anybody ever call you, does anybody call you anything but DJ? Does anybody call you Donna Jo?
Oh, yeah. No, I grew up Donna Wilson. You know, and I have an older sister, Debbie. I was always Debbie's little sister. When I went to college, I was like, no one's going to remember Donna Wilson. I'm Donna Jo now. And my mom's Mary Jo. So I got, the Jo thing. And my dad's Don.
But is Joe part of your real legal name?
It's my middle name.
It is your middle name. Okay.
Yeah. So I went to college and I went by Donna Jo.
Oh, you did? Full Southern Belle?
Yeah, that's what they would say. And
California.
I'd say Southern California. Right. But they would remember my name. Oh, you're the girl with two names. Like, so just to be like, because I'm coming from Bonita to Long Beach, I know nobody.
Yeah.
And so I used both names. It was actually calculated why I did that. And then in PT world, I was Donna Jo, Miss Donna Jo. They call me Donna Jo. And then when I started paddling, I didn't like Donna, just Donna. So they called me Donna at the first race. And I'm like, oh, no, it's DJ. Oh. So I started going by DJ for paddling so I wouldn't be mixed up with Donna or Donna Jo or, because it was always weird if my mom was called Mary because her name's Mary Jo. So then, it just became DJ. In fact, I was PTA president at the middle school and my theme was like healthy mind, healthy life. I don't know, healthy body, healthy mind. I think it was my theme. So I had Jonathan Jones come and talk about health, and because he's a nutritionist or whatever he did, and athletic trainer, whatever. So I had him come, and he was like, I don't know who this Donna Jo you're talking about is, but DJ asked me to come speak. And I was like, oh, that's funny, because some people just don't even know.
So part of your life, people call you Donna Jo.
Now I...
And DJ, if you know DJ, it's like the paddling side. Anybody listening to this podcast will call you DJ,
yes.
But there is still a part of the world that calls you Donna Jo.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. I didn't know that. And then when I met you, as I mentioned earlier, it was DJ OB, DJ O'Brien.
Yeah.
And you just said that Wilson was your
maiden name.
And then you decided in the last 10 years to take that back. Is that right?
Yeah. After I got divorced, I went right back to Wilson.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it all explains it. Because I was like, so hypothetically, if somebody said, hey, Mark, you're meeting with Donna Jo Wilson today, I'm like, who's that? Because in my head, it's DJ O'Brien. Now it's Donna Jo Wilson.
That's a completely different
totally
name.
different person.
I know, it is kind
one
of
for each
funny
personality.
Well, it's funny because maybe.
Maybe.
Well, it's kind of funny because I do feel like there's so much more to talk about in this life of mine, these 60 years, but like as Donna Wilson or as, it does.
I know, we could have done DJ the paddler or Donna Jo
the therapist and mom.
Here, and mom. I think we did a pretty good job of capturing all of it and weaving it all together today. Like, again, for me, all of these things were, I've known you since a point in time and some fun experiences, Spanx and sea lion slapping stories. But all this other stuff was completely new.
And silly nicknames.
And silly nicknames. We had a few that I didn't share. But the path, and I know there's a lot more to it, but the path and the course and where you've ended up, like there are a lot of similarities, like from that 10-year-old kid helping other kids to mentoring others to helping women grow in sport to all these, like, I love it, DJ. It's super rad.
I kind of feel like, and I've said this to some people, that as you get older, like my 60-year-old self, I think I'm about my 6-year-old self. Like I'm back to being kind of like open and free and happy and like excited about things. And like, I was going to tell you how I met Odessa. Like when I met her, I paddled at the end and I was so excited to see another girl paddling. And I was like, hi, do you want to join our club? Or do you live around here? First of all, I asked, do you live around here? She goes, yeah. And I said, do you want to join our club? We have the South Bay Mermaids. And she was like, maybe. And then later,
scared her.
but later we became friends. She goes, I don't know if you're freaking crazy or if you were just super friendly. And I'm like, okay, let's just err on the friendly side because maybe I might be a little crazy too, but it's just like, as you get older,
They're both endearing, DJ.
But I don't try to be too cool. I just try to be, you know.
I think it's super wise. Enjoy the ride, right?
Yeah.
I also say that at this point in life, like, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Right? They don't
As
care.
you get older, they
right?
cares.
Nobody cares, or I shouldn't care if they care, right? Like, but most people don't, right? So do what matters to us and what's important and what makes us feel good and fills our bucket, right?
Yeah.
Rad. DJ, it's so fun to have you in here.
Oh,
Thank you for
thanks,
sharing the whole
Mark.
story. If
It's
somebody
fun.
wants to find Oceans Prone or Oceans Cafe or you, how do they find this?
So we have, we're terrible on social media.
Are you?
We're trying really hard. Instagram has our oceans, both. You can look on Instagram and you can find me on Instagram at One Saltwater.
One Saltwater. Number one?
Number one. Yeah. And just contact me like immediately if you want to learn to paddle, because it's getting warm and there's so many races right now and there's so many events and things coming up at the South Bay. I'm also on the South Bay Board Riders Board, and we have a paddleboard race series, and I'm going to do a women's introduction to paddleboarding coming up hopefully at the end of this month.
Rad.
For the South Bay Board Riders. And can't believe I haven't mentioned that yet, but
You got a lot going on.
yeah, so we'll take you out paddling. We'll come down here. We'll do wherever. We'll go. Long Beach is a great place to learn, and
Good flat water.
yeah, so just
Rad.
Oceans Prone Paddle. Come find us.
Find her. Well, one last thing. I'm wearing the shirt. This is the Catalina Classic.
Oh, yeah.
The statue. So if you happen to go to the base of the Manhattan Beach Pier, there's a beautiful statue representing the Catalina Classic that's been going on since the 50s, and it finishes right there. You'll see 3 paddlers, boards, and there's a woman prone paddling. DJ, you were the model for that,
Yeah.
and it represents...
All women. It represents all women in this sport, and all women should be out there doing this sport. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Come play.
And there's also a plug for Blackline did a really lovely documentary on the Catalina Classic and the building of the statue, and it's called 32 Miles, and it's on YouTube.
Rad.
It's it's comprehensive. It tells you all about the race and the statue, and it's pretty cool.
Super cool. Well, listen, come paddle.
Yeah.
Find DJ,
Yeah.
find someone, find Oceans Prone, find us down here in Orange County or wherever you may be. There's a lot of people in this great sport we'd love to see out there. DJ, you're the raddest. Thank you so much.
There's another one.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark.